So today's topic is wind rose diagram or the importance of wind rose. The mere importance coming under this heading wind rose or I must say the wind rose diagram, a graphical representation of the various data being evaluated from the wind being blowing over that aircraft has to be catered for getting the best orientation. I must say the importance of this wind rose or wind rose diagram is what starting with its importance. The importance lies in the fact to get the best orientation of runway. Best orientation of runway. The point inculcating behind this is why to get the orientation of runway is best. Means why we are actually looking into the topic orientation of runway. The reason, or I must say the logic behind this can be explained with the fact that the using the initiating factor which comes under the wind can be used out of importance. If I am saying like aircraft is moving over runway, for example, taking this as fact, like this is the pavement of the runway, and if aircraft is going to land over this, then what will happen if the wind is coming from its head, that is prevailing wind, the direction of wind is opposite to the direction of aircraft. If the wind is opposite to the direction of aircraft, then the advantage with this wind in case of landing, when it is landing, means first point is what? When it is landing, when the aircraft is landing actually. In case of landing, the wind, the head wind will make what? The head wind will provide a braking effort. The headwind will provide a braking effort such as to make the aircraft stop, within a shorter length of runway. So the point coming within this, while the aircraft is on landing mode, the braking effort of headwind will make the aircraft to stop within shorter length of runway. Means orientation means what? Firstly, we will be actually looking on to the design of runway section. If the runway is like, if I am making a plane, if this is the plane, this center of the runway, and these are the edge markings, and if these are the edge markings, the aircraft is going to land in this direction. Then if the wind is headwind, prevailing wind, or the wind coming in front of the aircraft, then this aircraft will get to stop in a shorter length of runway. Otherwise, if the wind would have been tailwinds, if the wind would have been direction of the aircraft, then it will lead the aircraft to move a little much more. And in that scenario, the length of required runway will be more. Since the length of runway required in case of tailwind, when the wind is moving in direction of the aircraft is more, means the amount of material being used in the design of that cross section of runway will be more. Economy will be suffering in that case. So to get the orientation of runway, or I may say to get the direction of wind, such as it will be beneficial for us to make the aircraft stop within a shorter distance, we are using that orientation. So first point is what? Landing. Landing will be affected in a case like it is providing a braking effort to the aircraft. It is providing a braking effort to the aircraft. Such as to make the aircraft stop. Make the aircraft stop in shorter length. So I think the first point is very clear why we are actually interested in understanding the behavioral properties of wind which is coming from head side of the aircraft. So the first point in that is the landing case. When the aircraft is going to land and if the winds are coming from the head direction of the aircraft, then it will be producing a braking effort, and that effort is actually making the length of runway shorter. Braking effort is making the length of runway shorter. Second point is the scenario when the aircraft is in takeoff condition. When the aircraft is going to be in takeoff condition, when the aircraft is going to get takeoff, so in that case the wind will be providing an extra lift off effort. Lifting force. An extra lift force will be provided by the transverse component of the wind, such as to make that aircraft took off in shorter distance. So the second point is what? Making the takeoff condition. When the wind is blowing, this was the case for landing. Similarly, the aircraft is going to take off. I must make this like from here. If the aircraft is going to take off, then the head winds are going to make a vertical transverse force. This lift of force, transverse, I must say the lift force. This lift force is going to make the aircraft get away from the aircraft to fly with edge within a shorter distance. If the condition would have been reversed, if the condition would have been like the wind is blowing from this direction, then the component will be pushing the aircraft towards the carriageway, and it will be moving over the larger length of the runway than to get took it off. So in the second scenario, when the winds are tailwind, the force will be on the aircraft will be to make this aircraft towards the pavement, which will make the aeroplane to move for longer distance of runway. Since the distance of runway required will be more, amount of material, the design considerations, the maintenance of the track, maintenance of the runway will be higher. So to get that economic part, I think the wind component is going to affect the movement of aircraft in two different scenarios. The landing scenario and the takeoff scenario is clear to you. दोनों ही conditions का purpose is what? The purpose is to make the aircraft stop in shorter duration. To make the aircraft stop. To make the aircraft stop in shorter duration, shorter span, or shorter length of runway. Shorter length of runway. Shorter length of runway. So I think the mere importance of using this parameter wind, why it is important in laying out the runway cross section is being clear to you, and for that purpose we are actually making the data of wind in a form of graphical way, and that graphical way is referred as windrose diagram. So the data of wind is being collected, that is being represented in a way that data which is actually being used are of three types. Wind data. The data is actually three folds. The first one is the duration of wind. Means for how much amount of time in a year the wind is blowing in that direction. Second one is the intensity. Of wind. Intensity of wind means what? The speed or the velocity or the pace with which the wind is blowing over that runway. The third data from the wind is direction. The direction of wind over that airport location. So these three data are collected for the site under consideration, which is going to be used by the airport as a sort of runway length, and these data are correlated in a form of graphical way. That graphical way is referred as windrose diagram. So the importance of windrose diagram with the parameters of wind is being clear to you with these two different scenarios, landing scenario and takeoff scenario. In the landing case, the braking effort is provided by the headwind. Similarly, in the takeoff case, the lift of force is being provided by the headwinds. So the importance of headwinds or the data regarding the wind is clear to you to get the runway orientation. So now we have to get that direction in which the runway have to be oriented. So to get the direction, collating these three data, and the time duration of collecting these three data is actually 5 years. At least 5 years, we need to collect the data of wind at least 5 years, and desirably 10 years, and desirably 10 years, desirably 10 years. So with these data and this basics about how and why we are going to orient the runway, this is only to get the direction of runway. Means if I am going to make it clear, like if it is a point and the direction we make to use, like this is east, this is north, this is south, this is west, and if our runway is oriented in this direction, so I need to get that how should I get to know which direction my runway has to be oriented. If this is my runway, so I need to get the direction, that is complete 360 degree where my runway had to be oriented, such as I can utilize the effect of wind in as much possible way I can. So to get this direction, we use this windrows diagram, which actually inculcate in itself three data of winds collected for a period of at least 5 to 10 years. So with these data, two different type of windrow diagrams are drawn. So type 1 windrows. Type 1 windrows. This was actually conventional and previous data which were using only the two parameters of wind. This uses only two parameters of wind. Parameter 1 is the duration. Parameter 1 is the duration of wind, for what much amount the wind is blowing over the selected site. And second thing is the direction of wind. Type 1 windrows does not indicate or does not takes into account the intensity of wind. Type 1 windrows takes only in itself the two different data of wind. The data 1 is regarding the direction of wind, data 2 is regarding the duration of wind. And with this point we draw a diagram. And with this point we draw a diagram like, if I would say this is the center line, like, and I am drawing here the circles. Presenting data can be in form of graphical way, it can be in form of pie chart, it can be in the form of circles. So this windrow diagram actually is using this circular form, and this circular form denotes what I am going to write you. Like if this is the direction, this is north, this direction is south, this direction is east, and this direction is west. So the radial lines from this location denotes what? The direction. So here I have put it out that one data is regarding the direction, which is represented by the radial lines. Represented by the radial lines. So these radial lines, it can be some other directions also. Like this direction is what? It is north of northeast. Similarly, this is what? This is south of west. Other directions can be like this. This is what? This is south of east. And this is what? This is north of west. So the radial lines are actually depicting what? The radial lines are representing the direction of the wind. Direction of the wind. Now comes the point, the duration of the wind. These circles are representing, concentric circles are representing the duration. Duration means what? Suppose if this is explaining like 20%. If this is like percentage of what, it means the data is collected for 5 years. If I am depicting here the data of the concurrent previous 1 year, within these 365 days, the percentage of time, the wind is towards east. So this percentage can be like 20%, this percentage can be like 30%, this percentage is like 50%. So if I am going to depict a certain direction, like if I am pointing out this value, this is some sort of value, this is some sort of value, this is some sort of value, some sort of value can be this, some values can be this. What these values are actually going to represent? Like if I am going to explain this value is what? This value. This is going to represent the intensity. Suppose the circle is of 20. So within this circles, it will be something approximately around, say something around 15%. So 15% of the time the wind is going to blow in northwest direction. This point is representing what? 15% of the time in a year the wind is going to blow in northwest direction. Similarly, if my one point is say here, my one point is say on this 30 line, then this point is being defined as what? 30% of the time the wind is blowing in east direction. Similarly, other points can be explained. What is this point? This is something lesser to 30%. Then 28% of the time the wind is going to blow in south direction. So in such scenario, we count the percentage of time during which the wind is going to blow in that particular year. By counting the time, or by plotting these points over this diagram, we can be in a situation to match the lines. Like if I draw the some more directions, like it can be point here, some point can be here. So if I am going to make these lines join, if I am making these lines join, then the longest spoke in this complete diagram is going to represent the direction of your, it can be drawn with a scale of like this. So this is what? This is the longest spoke. This is the longest spoke. So this spoke is going to depict you the orientation of your runway, because maximum percentage of the time the wind is going to blow in this direction. If you are going to make your runway oriented in this way, and the orientation of this runway is depicted by a number referred as magnetic number, and that magnetic number is defined as what? It is defined as the clockwise bearing of the ends of runway considering from the north. So if this is a case, if I am going to put the magnetic number of this point, say this is L, this point is R, then the clockwise angle of this runway, say this will come around something 210 degrees. So magnetic number will be what? Magnetic number is this whole circle bearing divided by 10, means in multiples of 10. So this is 21. So on runways you can see the numbers like 21, 27, 8, 6, 5. That digit number is representing what? That is representing the magnetic number of the runway orientation. So I think this case one, how we can going to use the data of wind. That wind, actually you can make it clear like this is a head wind or prevailing wind. Head oblique prevailing wind. So the wind roll actually roams around this data of wind, because that wind is advantageous to us in two folds. First point is regarding the landing scenario, which makes easier by which have been made easier by the wind in terms of braking effort. Similarly, the second point is regarding takeoff, which would be by providing an extra lift force to make that easier lifting of the aircraft over that runway given runway. So with these two advantages of wind, we can make the orientation of runway best. And how to get that orientation? We actually collect the wind data in three different parameters. The first parameter is duration of the wind, second one is the intensity of the wind, and third one is the direction of the wind. With these three data collected for a span of at least 5 to 10 years, we need to provide this or make this represented in a form of graphical or bar charts, anything it can be there. But for suitability or for easier depictions, we make this because we are going to use here the magnetic number, the number being provided over the aircrafts. So that is all about this type 1 windrow diagram, how we can get the proper orientation of that runway. So I think this is clear to you, part 1. We will be discussing the part 2 in a shorter span of time.